Presenting the Fujifilm GA645zi. In what seems to be becoming a tradition for this channel, we are featuring another camera that was not only the pinnacle of what its maker could achieve, but also the end of the line for the camera concerned. This seems to be becoming a bit of a theme. Back in the day, Fujifilm was adventurous and the world was still yet to see mainstream digital cameras. Consequently, Fujifilm was still very focused on professional film photographers. In 1998, they released what some people consider the greatest point-and-shoot camera ever made, the GA645zi. Now, that is quite the claim. Can it live up to it? We will just have to see.
But before we do any of that, I need to tell you about my latest project, and that is the new JCH NFTs. Yes, that's right, you can have NFTs of me to get the entire JCH experience. April Fools, no. But this ain't no joke. We have got 20% off on the merch in the shop now, so make sure you follow that link. Supporting this merch, buying this, use the code, ain't no joke, and it helps us keep the show going, and it helps us keep on making great content. Cheers.
This black GA645zi is the last in a long line of cameras that Fujifilm originally brought out in the 90s. The 90s. Starting with the GA645 in 1995. Fuji invested quite heavily into the concept and the idea of having a portable medium format 645 camera, and to make one fully automatic they came out with the GA645 line, which was truly the pinnacle of what they were trying to achieve with a portable, semi-compact, point and shoot, do everything for you, fire and forget film camera. And they really did it with this one. But, just like many cameras of this era, it only had a short lifespan, being discontinued in 2003. It's hard to think that this camera is 20 years old. Oh God, I got old. What makes this a great point and shoot camera? Well, it certainly ticks all of the boxes. You've got all of the features you could possibly need, including a zoom, pop-up flash, ISO selection, all sorts of yada yada yada. It's been covered, but it's got a lot. It's packed with features, so it's got everything you could possibly need for a point and shoot camera. This camera though has a zoom too, with 55, 65, 75 and 90mm, with a variable aperture range between the lengths. So what? Loads of point and shoot cameras have a zoom, with much less restrictions. Well, that's the trick up the sleeve for the old GA here. You may have noticed the size. It's a little bit bigger than some compact cameras, but it's still very compact considering that this is a medium format point and shoot film camera, a 645 medium format. And you know, compared to other 645 cameras, it's a tiddler. It's much more compact, much more easy to use. This camera was the pinnacle of Fujifilm's development in this format, in this range, and was an absolute showcase for them until digital came along and pretty much stopped it in its tracks. So, you cannot really call this a compact, but thanks to the features, it has its place as a point and shoot camera. Another big thing that sets this camera apart from other point and shoot cameras is the finder, and that it actually has one that's big and bright and easy to see through. Unlike some other point and shoot cameras, TC1, it is got all of the information you could possibly need. It's got a great layout inside there, a readout, it's parallax corrected, and it also has an adjustable diopter that's real easy to use and is brilliant for old pebbles like myself. So this is a really, really great camera to use as a point and shoot because of the finder, which makes a difference. As usual, with many dials on the top of Fujifilm cameras, they are simple, but not that well ergonomically designed, not like some of the other cameras we have featured from this era.
This camera is very utilitarian. It's nice and easy to use, and that's kind of the whole point really. The shutter button's nice and easy to find, the zoom function, easy to use, and it does exactly what it's meant to. It's a point and shoot camera. It makes it easy for you to go and take pictures, so you don't have to do too much thinking. It does the heavy lifting for you. So why don't we take it out and let it do some of the heavy lifting for us. It is sakura time, it's cherry blossom season, and it's a sort of an apt goodbye to this fleeting camera. And why not add a roll of the last roll of a fleeting film, Pro 160. It seems to be what it should be. Let's go and capture some of those cherry blossoms and see how this goes. As it goes, it's a very easy and enjoyable camera to use for the most part. One thing I don't like, a couple of gripes, main gripe perhaps, is the exposure compensation, which is a bit fiddly and a bit of a pain to use. Other than that, it's not the best looking camera, but it doesn't really matter. It does what it says on the tin, and it makes it a very easy and fun to use point and shoot camera. Whilst this is a good camera, it does have some caveats. Mainly, there's limitations with the autofocus. Getting used to the finder can be a bit difficult. It's a vertical rather than horizontal format. The LCD screen is an issue. Sometimes they just don't work, so you have no idea which frame you're shooting. And then it comes to loading. Loading can be an issue if you don't know what you're doing, and even if you do know what you're doing, you can end up with fat rolls and where things don't roll properly. The autofocus, not the best, but it does what it does, and it does it all right. It is an easy camera to use as long as you're aware. Oh, one big thing though, if this thing breaks, it's broke, it's done, it's gone. As far as I'm aware, there are nobody fixing these anymore. Does it deserve the moniker of the greatest point and shoot camera of all time? Personally, I don't think so. Now, it is a great camera, it's chock full of features, it's got everything you might need from a point and shoot camera. It does have issues with reliability, and personally, I like a smaller camera. I like something a bit more compact and usable in situations where I may need to be a bit more discreet. But is it a great camera? Yes, it is. It is a great camera. It is a really nice camera to use. Fujifilm really showed some engineering chops making this and put a lot of work into it. I think if this range had been able to continue, this could have been a truly, truly great point and shoot camera. So, time you all know, the time you all love, it's what you expect. Too long didn't read. Pros and cons time. Pros, easy to use, point and shoot camera. Does what it says on the tin. Nice finder. Fun. Cons. Well, easy to break. Pretty fragile. Once it's broke, it's broken forever. And fat roll problems. And the LCD. The LCD is always an issue. So, if you liked this video and you want to see others, please make sure you like and subscribe down below. Come and visit the website, japancamera.hunter.com, see more cameras, see more film, learn more, and as always, keep on shooting film.